If you open the hallway closet and lift up the carpet in that closet in a certain house in Lehi, Utah, you'll climb down a ladder and be in a weirdly large crawl space. And this is the crawl space where Spencer Mecham, also known as BuildaPreneur, started his 240,000 subscriber YouTube channel and began the journey that would result in him making more than $7 million online from something called affiliate marketing. Fast forward 8 years and Spencer is one of the top affiliate marketers on the planet, and I got to sit down with him and learn exactly how he went from making $10 an hour to now making over $100,000 a month online, mostly passively with a solopreneur type business. Spencer doesn't hold anything back in this episode, and I'm super grateful to him for coming on. So let's check it out on this episode of UtahPreneur.
I was working at $10 bucks an hour job. My wife was working like 12 bucks an hour, and I was like, how to buy Bitcoin? I'm doing it, so I'll make a video about it. And that video exploded too, like $25,000 in a few months.
Wow.
Sending people to Coinbase, $10 commissions, just lining up, stacking
$25,000. That's tough to do.
It was like, okay, I've got 6 month runway. I've already got like a passive income coming in from this software.
Yeah.
Like at this point, why are you working at this job? I'm just here to like show me what to click, right?
Yeah.
And that's what I did. So.
It's so cool. Spencer, thanks for coming on, man.
Oh, thanks for having me. This place is awesome.
Well, I was super excited to have you on because not only have a long history in the internet marketing space, but you've done it in a way that most people would be super interested in doing, which is like kind of the solopreneur model where one person business, like that's all the rage right now. And you've done it, but you're just like, you're so low key and casual about it. And I think it's just because you enjoy it and you have a lot of like very specific goals for your life that are based around family, etc., which I think a lot of the audience will resonate with. So I'm excited to talk about all that today.
Yeah, let's that you described me well. That's me.
So let's go back to college. I think you bought your first home, or was like a duplex, right? Was that your first like financial freedom move?
It's my first smart financial freedom. So yeah, my beginning just probably a year before that was reading Rich Dad Poor Dad, and that was the mindset change, right? So even I think a lot of people read that, and there's not most of what you read doesn't apply technically, right? Like what you're not going to do what he's doing, what Robert Kiyosaki's doing, but the book, if you haven't had the mindset shift yet, that book will do that so well for you. So that shifted my mindset and got me looking all over real estate, stocks. Looked into crypto. Probably should have bought a little back then, but didn't have any money. And in the end, I bought that. We started to get into that real estate and starting into stocks. Those were kind of the two that I was doing. And so the story I always tell is I had $10,000 saved up. Me and my wife together, we went to go get ready to buy this duplex because it's really smart to buy a duplex while you're in college. You don't have to. Right, you can get really good loan terms. All this stuff is really smart to do. And we took that $10,000 down payment, and it was like a 30-day, 45-day window before we closed, right? We knew we had the house, we had everything. We had the money sitting there, and I'm reading books, and these stock market books are like showing me these like, jump in, jump out in like 3 days and make money. And I'm like, that is what you do. And I've never had money to actually even try this before. So I'm like, I got $15,000 sitting in my bank account, right? I'm going to try it. So I try to do like these day trading things with this $10,000, and you should look up Black Mondays, and I'm pretty sure it's called. I think it was 2018 or 16 in October. There was some big
That
event,
was the day.
China or something. Yeah, you could like restart. I can't remember the exact date, but I think it's called Black Monday because some big thing came out of China right as I got into all this, and I lost like two of that $10,000, $2,000 or $3,000 like overnight. Woke up Monday down like 20-30%. I'm like, I'm out of here. So I sell everything. Now I don't have enough money for the down payment on the house that we're buying in like 3 weeks, right? We've already been approved. And I'm trying to think of how it all played out. In the end, we had to go mooching and begging to parents and stuff like that. Like, hey, we need like a little bit more for the house. I don't think I told them why. We didn't quite have enough, but they helped us out. Anyway, I always say real estate was my first smart decision that I did.
And they allowed you, what was like the pricing on that duplex? Do you remember?
Oh, man. Yeah, it's $220,000 for a duplex in Utah.
Oh, man.
I just looked it up like a couple weeks ago, and it's like 5 something now.
Wow.
And we sold it, so don't own it anymore.
And they were letting you like use the future rent of that towards the mortgage, right?
Yeah, so that's why it's so smart to buy a duplex when you're in college, because I was working at $10 bucks an hour job. My wife was working like 12 bucks an hour. I was part-time. Like there was no way we should be approved for a loan, you know? But it already had tenants downstairs paying, I think, $1,000 a month, and we were able to use 75% of that. So $750 a month, they kind of wipe out of your mortgage, in their mind, which made our mortgage much more reasonable, and we could get approved for it.
So cool. All right. So now, like, how long had you been married at that point?
That was 2016, so 3 years.
Okay. So you guys have been married a while. You're like, okay, time to make some moves. Were you like about to graduate and so excited about like providing for your family, or what motivated the jump into stocks and real estate and Rich Dad Poor Dad and all that?
Yeah, that was, so we moved to Hawaii. My wife was she was getting a major in family studies, I think it's called. And so we moved to Hawaii for her to do an internship. She was working with the Head Start program, which like works with preschools and stuff. And so we did that for her, but we got there in January. And if you're anything like me, like, it's always been like easy to get a job, right? Like, yeah, wherever we go, I'll just get a job and we'll do that. And I could not get a job in Hawaii. Like I still like look back, like, why couldn't I get a job? Like, I'm not looking for the big guy. I'm looking for like McDonald's, give me something. No one will hire me. There's like cultural things there people want, it's travel. There's a lot of things behind that, but could not get a job anywhere. I was doing Mechanical Turk. You've ever hired that? You do these like tiny, insanely boring tasks for like 3 cents, right? Like, I need someone to do this 700 times to like Google search this and type and like whatever word pops up first or something, type that in this Excel sheet. So I'm just doing that. I'm making like $6 an hour in like the most dreary work you could imagine.
And that was a Hawaiian employer? You just found it online?
That was just found online. Yeah, it's called Amazon Mechanical Turk. It still exists.
Wow.
I wouldn't recommend it. Right? There's about 10 million better ways to make money. But I was like feeling like I was doing something. And then kind of in the middle of that is when I was like, okay, like I can make some money online, but there's got to be better ways. And I was reading Rich Dad Poor Dad on the beach every day. I'd go read like an hour or two of Rich Dad Poor Dad on a beach, and that was when it all was like, okay. And I was probably 2 years into school at that point, and that was like the big click for me. Like, I don't actually feel like it was a mindset shift. It was like a realization of the mindset I'd had, and I was like finally stepping into it. Right?
Yeah. Okay, so what was your goal then? Like, were you like, I'm going to retire in 10 years or I'm going to make 10K a month? Like, were you thinking super far in the future at that point?
That's a good question. I think my goal was to be job free.
Okay.
So I hadn't even had a real job yet, and I was already done. Yeah,
that's relatable.
The goal was to not have a traditional job.
Okay. And you get back from Hawaii, a couple years, you get to buy the house. What happens next?
So yeah, we live in this duplex after we get back from Hawaii, and I work at a local startup. It's called Dark Energy, 4 or 5 employees, and learned a ton there. So I was their director of marketing. Out of the 4 employees, that was my job. And maybe that's why the bank was able to give me a loan. He's a director of marketing. This guy's legit. But did that part-time. And just that's when I learned just tons about marketing, right? You're the only marketing guy there. So I'm learning, I'm running our blog, YouTube channels, Twitter, visual stuff, like just everything, websites. And just getting through school, and got done with school and started at an SEO agency, so called 97th Floor. That's actually only a couple miles from here. And that was when I really was like, okay, I got to now I really don't want a 9-to-5 job. Now I quickly realized what that entailed, and they're an awesome company. Like, it just was me not fitting in, not this company or their culture or anything. They also give what's called, what do they call it? 100% free time or free time off, PTO.
Oh, yeah.
They have a word for it now, but there was
free time. Yeah. Tell me you've never had a job without telling me you've never had a job.
It's been a while since I was in that world. But essentially, you could have a PTO as much as you want. You take as much as you want. And so that gave me a taste of it too. Like, wow, like we went to Thailand for 10 days. No one even asked questions. I don't have to okay, can I take my 2 weeks or whatever?
That's ahead of their time.
It was. Yeah,
that's
this is
more
7 years
common
ago.
today, but crazy.
And so that was, and I'd leave at 3:30 every day, or just whenever I wanted. You just get up and leave. Really cool culture, but it bad for me or good for me because it let me taste what freedom was, and I was like, oh, I really want this. So I started blogging. We were doing blogs for other people, and just a few months into that, I was like, I can do a blog, right? I know a ton now about blogging, and so I started to run my own blog, and that was kind of my turn into my own, like a side hustle entrepreneur stuff.
Mm-hmm. And the blog was about affiliate marketing or side hustles or?
No, I was so good at stock trading at that point,
Oh, okay,
obviously,
of
that I
course.
made a blog about stock trading.
Little did we know you were a fake stock trading guru before.
So I figured I'd lost $4,000. I could now teach people. No, I was just into the stock market. I liked the idea of it, and so I made a blog about. It's called beginningstocktrader.com.
Okay.
I'm going to teach beginners how to get started in the stock market. Totally unqualified. We all do this, right? Like when we first go out there and start a blog or start something, we're like not qualified for it, but.
Hey everyone, a quick break. So when you're starting a company or running a company, basically you put together all these different pieces of software that may or may not play nicely with each other. And you're trying to generate leads in one spot and convert those leads or build your website in another spot. And it all just ends up like this jumbled mess. And it's just a matter of time before the integrations break. If you want to say goodbye to that and instead say hello to a much easier way of running your business, definitely consider checking out my software company, Streamline. It's Streamline with a Y.io. And what we've built there is the opportunity for you to generate all of your leads in one spot, to nurture those leads with automation and AI inside the same software. You can even launch Facebook and Google ads from the software in a simplified interface. And you can do all of this for one low fee, plus just a little bit of usage costs every time you send a text and an email. It costs me money, so I just pass that on to you at no extra cost. I use Streamline absolutely every single day in my own business, for my online ventures, for my podcasts, and I've helped my family business get onto Streamline and tons of other small locally owned businesses. Whatever your needs are, I promise it has that. Go ahead and head to streamline.io/UtahPreneur. There's going to be a special offer for you as a listener of the UtahPreneur podcast. Thanks for being here. And with that, let's get back to the podcast.
beginningstocktrader.com. I did Instagram. I did a YouTube channel, and little like niblets of success along the way, but nothing big.
Okay. And you had like affiliate links, or how were you monetizing it? AdSense?
Yeah. So initially the blog, I put a ton of time into that blog. So my wife worked evenings and I worked days.
Wow.
And so I'd come home at 3, I'd see her for like an hour, and then she'd be gone. And I'm like 6 hours, right? And so I worked that whole year. I'd work probably 4 or 5 hours a day on that blog, 1,000 hours probably on it, and put out hundreds of blog posts, handwritten. And I think I probably made $500 off affiliate links, right? A few of those, like I think best stock trading books, I think was the one that I actually finally managed to rank for. Made a couple bucks a day off that. And then, let me think. So yeah, the real success there came when I started an Instagram/YouTube channel. So I was like, okay, blogging, I was warned it was hard, but blogging's really hard. Like, it's still really hard. Like you got to work forever for nothing to really start seeing anything. And so I got on Instagram, and that was back when, I don't know, maybe you tried this back when you first started. It's follow, unfollow.
Yeah.
You follow and unfollow people. So you use these bots, you follow like 50,000 channels, and then some of them looking like, who's this guy? And they follow you back, and then you go and unfollow all of them like a jerk, right?
Yeah.
I got all these followers. So I watched a YouTube video. It said, do that. That's what I did, right? And I got some followers, and then I had this little I would send them like a welcome message. Hey, thanks for following me. You should check out this little mini course, right? And the mini course was just like, I made 3 YouTube videos that kind of helped you set up your stock trading account, learn like the really basics and stuff like that, and kind of pointed you in some affiliate links in other directions. And so I was doing that, and my Instagram account got shut down, as it should have been, right? Like it's pretty easy to see what's going on Instagram's end.
Yeah.
Like I'm so sneaky. Yeah. So Instagram account got shut down. We had a baby, and you could call that my like low moment. I wasn't like devastated, but it was just like, oh, this sucks. I'm out, like life's busy. I'm done. And then like a few months later, we have this baby, and I start getting these emails for commissions. I'm like,
Oh, wow.
my blog's taking off. And I go look, and like, no, your blog's not taking off. I'm like, my Instagram's taking off. No, my Instagram's not taking off. I'm like, where am I getting money from? And this is like funny. This is like story of my entrepreneurship journey. I feel like is like the accidental wins are always wins are always on accident. My YouTube channel had that I had uploaded those 3 videos that I was kind of spamming people with from Instagram to YouTube, and one of those videos was taking off.
Wow.
Wasn't even planning on it, right? But that was YouTube, especially back then, and it's a lot easier. And so YouTube video was getting like 8,000 views a day or something.
Wow.
And actually making me money. And it was, I can't even remember, something very big. I was like, how to get started in the stock market or stock market terms or best stock brokers. I can't remember one of those
Is it
three.
still online?
Yeah, it should be. The channel has changed now, but you can go find the first 3 or 4 videos on that channel.
That's the Wealth Hacks channel.
Wealth Hacks channel.
Wow. Look at that. Humble beginnings.
Humble beginnings. Yeah. And that was when I turned pretty hard to YouTube at that point, because it was like, tried so hard, failed, didn't try, won. You know, kind of like this.
Yes.
And I do a lot more YouTube now.
Okay. That's so cool. So the commissions coming in, were they like significant money? It was like $1,000 a month, or?
Yeah, it was. The chart kind of looks straight up and straight down like a giant mountain. So $1,000, it was like more than $1,000, but just for like a month or two, and then the video died. I'm trying to remember. It was like $80 commissions. That was why I picked the stock market world, because when you send someone to a stockbroker, they know they're going to make a lot of money off that person. You make a lot of money in turn. So yeah, I made really good for a few months on that channel.
Cool. And then was it recently or pretty quickly after that you found the ClickFunnels world and started promoting them?
No, I think it was like a year or two. So I was kind of pittering around on that channel for like a year or two.
Okay. Still working at the SEO agency?
Yeah, I was still working at the SEO agency. Well, I think at that point I'd quit. I only worked for a year there, and then I moved into an in-house marketing agency. And still kind of like bummed with it all. It's still kind of like, now that I've seen some success trying out YouTube videos, and I'm trying to remember, I had one more mega success on that channel, and that was how to buy Bitcoin. And I'm trying to remember, there's a similar story where I was kind of like, it was like an accidental. I was like looking into it all, and I'm like, I'm going to go buy some Bitcoin. And I was like, I should just learn. I should upload like a video on how I did it to my own channel, right? Because crypto and stocks are kind of the same.
Yeah.
Maybe my audience will be interested, right? Because I put up 5 videos so far. I have an audience.
Your audience is like 50 subscribers.
They all love me and know me.
Yeah.
But again, it was like more accidental than like me researching and like coming up with a plan. I was like, how to buy Bitcoin. I'm doing it, so I'll make a video about it. And that video exploded too, like way more than that other one. Like $25,000 in a few months.
Wow.
Sending people to Coinbase, $10 commissions, just lining up.
$25,000. That's tough to do.
It was big money.
That's tough on that level of commission.
It happened. So now I know the timeline here. You might remember when Bitcoin like had a huge spike 4 or 5 years ago, right around Thanksgiving time. Everyone's like talking about it at Thanksgiving. I ranked for how to buy Bitcoin on YouTube and Google. My YouTube video ranked for like 6 months, and that's where it all came from.
Wow.
But it was like, serious money, especially for someone in my situation, right?
Yeah, that's crazy.
So another accidental win for me.
And that video probably took you like 20 minutes.
A straight screen share. Again, that's still on there. You can go watch it. And it's just like, I'm going to show you how to buy Bitcoin, right? Like slow talking. Oh man, it's bad. I don't know why it ranked. It ranked, tons of people were making videos like that, right? Like,
yeah.
Even today I look back, I'm like, I don't get it, but
yeah,
sweet.
Just catches the algorithm. Something about not being overproduced sometimes, I feel like.
I think it is, especially for tutorial type channels, right?
Yeah.
You're like, when someone like jumps in your face and like hyped up, and you're like, I'm just here to like show me what to click. Like,
Yeah.
And that's what I did. So.
It's so cool. Okay, so you have that success, and then you're like doubling down on stocks at that point, or how did you get into the internet marketing world eventually?
Yeah. So I told you I worked in-house at a marketing agency, and they wanted to try out ClickFunnels. And so they said,
okay,
let's look at
it
this.
was another
software.
Marketing agency, or you're working in marketing?
Sorry to say agency. I'm working in-house at I'm doing marketing at it's like a 3D software modeling company.
Yeah,
Again, I'm the director of marketing.
Yeah.
6 employees.
These are the guys that spent like $200,000 on Google Ads without a single return.
We'll talk about that. So I'm doing in-house marketing, and they're like, we want to try out ClickFunnels. Can you figure it out? I'm like, yeah, I'll figure it out. So I'm kind of testing, playing around with ClickFunnels, and Russell Brunson, who's the CEO of ClickFunnels, is launching his new book right about that same time called Expert Secrets. And so they start sending me these emails about like, did you know that you can make commissions? And I was like, oh, I've like dabbled in affiliate marketing and like had some miniature successes. And so I, on the side, I'm like, I'm going to try to make some YouTube videos about this Expert Secrets book and stuff. And somehow, again, I started a new channel because it doesn't make sense anymore to be like, hey, you guys like Bitcoin? You should read this book about marketing. I was like, okay, I got to start something new here. So that's where the BuildaPreneur channel comes in.
Okay.
It's like 2 a.m. and you're you're in a domain name registrar, like entrepreneur.com. No. BuildaPreneur, no. Like, oh man. And so BuildaPreneur was like the 93rd option. And
All right.
at that point, you're like, yes, go.
And now you're stuck with
and
it.
now I'm stuck with it. Yep. Been with it ever since. But made that channel, and I did really well with that Expert Secrets launch. Again, like, why am I doing so well with this? Just some videos about it. And it's kind of a fun story because Expert Secrets is doing their thing, and I start to see my name on like the top 20 for that launch, top 20 affiliate promoters, and just from some YouTube videos and stuff. And so then I kind of like, wow, the winner gets to go to ClickFunnels headquarters. They get to meet Entrepreneur on Fire, JLD, John Lee Dumas.
Yeah, it rings a bell. Before my time.
big guy. He runs a podcast, Entrepreneur on Fire, huge podcast. Okay, like, this is cool. And so I start just like telling everybody, like family and friends, like, you got to buy this book. Go click this link, buy the book. I'll reimburse you, right? So ClickFunnels was paying out $10 commissions for anyone that bought the book. The book was $9. So I'm like, go buy this book for $9. I'll give you a $10 bill. Greatest day of your life, right? You earn $1. So I'm going around all over just telling people to do that. And I end up in the top 10. And
you did it. You like stood outside the basketball arena, right?
The Marriott School of Business at BYU. Yeah, so a local college.
Yeah.
Like, hey, here's a $10 bill. Oh, I think at that point they were offering 20. They were doing like a last 2-day push, and it was like $20 per person that buys the book. And I was like, it's an $8 book. So I'd like sitting out there like $20 bills, buy this book, and I'll give you this $20 bill. Desperate.
Or were you doing so you made a couple of videos, but most of your promotion was like grassroots like this?
No, this was just kind of like the final push, because they're doing like the final like top 10 go on, and I'm like, well, I got nothing left in the tank, like, I don't have an audience, I don't have anything. So that was kind of like my just try to push me over the edge.
Did you take off work, or you just like you told your wife like, I'm done with work, but I'm
Saturday.
Okay.
I might have taken off work. I can't remember how I ended up doing that. It was only for one day. It wasn't like I'm out there every day with a sign, It was like just kind of like thinking of different things to get 30 or 40 more signups. But I got everyone in my office, $20 bills, buy this book. And so that was my first big win on the BuildaPreneur channel. And kind of like suddenly people knew my name. It was like, oh, wow, he was in the top 10. Who is this guy? And I think that helped a lot moving forward from that, having some name out there.
Okay. So what were you, like 1 or 2?
Like 9 or 10.
Okay, all right.
I think it was Tony Robbins and John Lee Dumas at number 1 and 2.
Okay.
Different world.
Got it. And you, this like scrappy kid.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'm like, seriously the most random human being. And everyone's like, who are you? I am nobody.
Okay. So then you get to go see Entrepreneur on Fire, and you meet Russell and all them.
Met Russell and kind of, I think I made pretty good commissions off that too. Even after all the payouts, I think I made decent money.
Cool. And then you were like, software is the game here, right?
Yeah, it kind of like, it's like these moments, right? Like rekindle your flame. I think it had fizzled a little, and I was putting out a movie a month or every couple months on my other channel, and I was like, yes, I win. And like and it was just really cool to be around all those people, right? Entrepreneur on Fire at the time is making, I think said he was making like $100,000 a month with ClickFunnels commissions alone, and that's his side hustle, right? Like he's doing his podcast and he's telling people about ClickFunnels on the side sometimes, and he's making $100,000 a month. And so just being in the room with people, a world that I'd never even like come close to, right? Never. It was all just hustles for me and kind of playing around. And these guys are making real money, right? They've got like own their own businesses and stuff. And so it was eye opening that, wow, you can build something quite real just having an audience.
And then it was, you started promoting ClickFunnels at that point as your main like driver of affiliate revenue.
Super hard. Yeah. So that BuildaPreneur channel had a couple videos, and then I made like 30 videos about ClickFunnels, like everything you could imagine, how to get started, what it is, reviews, everything. And at some point, it was like 10 videos in, YouTube kind of like identified me as an expert. And they're like, wow, this guy seems to know what he's talking about with ClickFunnels. He's very into ClickFunnels, right? Maybe they're like, wow, this guy is like a little too into ClickFunnels. Make another video, dude. But made like 30 videos and started to get like good commissions at that point. So probably 6 months of that got me to $5,000 a month with just YouTube on ClickFunnels. And that was the point. I was just saving up the money. And that was kind of the point where it was like, oh, I can quit my job. I'm making the same amount. And I'd been saving up my money. So I had like $40,000-$50,000 just sitting there, and I'm super conservative. And so I was like, okay, I've got 6-month runway. I've already got like a passive income coming in from the software.
Yeah.
Like at this point, why are you working at this job?
Yeah.
I don't know. So luckily my wife was down and we left.
Nice. It's their fault for getting you on ClickFunnels in the first place.
That's what I say to all the jobs. Like, don't teach me so many good skills and stuff. Like, this is on you.
Yeah. That's awesome. And this whole time is your wife like you come to her with the $25,000 in Coinbase commissions and you're like, look at this. She's just like, cool. Like, or is she super excited?
My wife doesn't care about money. Yeah, she's funny like that. Yeah, she's like, cool, this is great.
Yeah.
And for her, for me, I'm like, I'm quitting my job, I'm out of here. And for her, it's like, I'm still gonna probably do the same thing. It'd be nice to have you home. Probably not really, but she's like, oh no, he's home all day.
Yeah.
But yeah, she's liked it more and more. I think in the beginning it's hard for her and for me, honestly, to like really see how awesome not having that 9-to-5 in place is, right? Like you're like, this is such a cool idea, and then when you actually see it, I think we both are like, oh, this is incredible.
Yeah. I'm ruined, man. Like I've never had a real job, never not worked from home. My college dorm was like my first home, but yeah, I really I would struggle so hard in a 9-to-5 environment.
I would take a massive drop in income to stay at home. Yeah. Absolutely.
Yes. Okay, so you go full time and it's just like another 30 ClickFunnels videos at that point?
Maybe a few more. Somewhere in there I start kind of like branching out by sole reason of I'm out of ideas.
Yeah.
And so things start to kind of roll. Like it's kind of nice, right? Like you when you're into this kind of stuff, you have wins, you have little wins, blah, blah, blah. And then eventually you get momentum. And right there, it probably was the momentum point where when I got on that Expert Secrets leaderboard, people are starting to come to me and I'm starting to get a little bit of a name for myself. And so that's when I think I launched my first course on affiliate marketing. Just like, here's what I'm doing, right? It's small. It was a pitiful course, I'm sure. Like
$9.97?
It was like, no, 67.
Oh, okay.
$67.
All right.
And the nice thing is that was Affiliate Secrets 1.0, I called it. And I said, you get unlimited updates. And so as I continue to release bigger and bigger courses, all those original buyers got the $14.97, the $19.97 course, they all got those updates. So the people that believed in me in the beginning,
good investment.
I'm sure they were disappointed on that first round, but it got better. So and then I just started to kind of, I did like ClickFunnels, like online business kind of stuff, right? Like how to run Facebook ads, kind of that little world. And then eventually ran out again. And at that point I switched my whole like online persona from I'm teaching you how to market, which is what I was doing when I was pushing ClickFunnels, right? I was teaching business owners how to do SEO, how to use ClickFunnels in their business, make funnels, run ads. And I switched because now everyone was following me to learn affiliate marketing. It felt like not that.
Yeah.
And so I switched my channel. I switched my branding. Everything was like affiliate marketing. And that's when BuildaPreneur logo before was like 2 blue squares and just something classy. I think I hired a designer and I was like, I want classy. I'm in the business niche, right? It's like
the business niche. I love that.
It's this color actually. It's like light blue.
Okay.
And just really boring. And I was like, affiliate marketing is much more like it's solopreneurs. It's people that want to enjoy life and be exciting, right? And MMO, make money online. It's just a more fun world. So that's when we switched to me sitting in a hammock, and I kind of built my branding around a guy in a hammock, which was much more fun, more fun to talk about and make videos about.
Love it. And then you had some you got up to like being the top ClickFunnels affiliate of all time, or one of the top?
I was the top of all time at my time.
Okay.
I'm sure I've been beat now, but at one point in history.
Cool. Yeah. And what did that feel like? Like what was the highest month, if you can say?
I mean, I had like $150,000 month somewhere in there.
Wow.
I mean, in full disclosure, we were doing paid ads as well. So at some point, as I started to grow with the YouTube, I started to reinvest and put that into paid ads and expand. So I think I made $150,000 one month, but I spent the entire $150,000 on ads or something close to that.
Okay.
Yeah, it was a really big. I mean, there was a period where I was just dumping money back in there, right? Like grow. This is great. At some point, I won't be able to do this anymore, and so at some point the ads turned off, and we were able to kind of enjoy that money again.
Okay, cool. So like your highest profit month.
Highest profit month was probably still in the hundreds, so 100 and something.
Nice. And then it just kind of like has slowly went down.
Yeah, as I moved into teaching more affiliate marketing, I talked less and less about ClickFunnels. My paid ads stopped for the most part, and so yeah, it kind of started to fizzle.
Okay. And what is your framework for affiliate marketing? Like what's the 5-minute or less pitch for somebody who's, relatively savvy online, but wants to get into the affiliate world?
Yeah. I mean, affiliate marketing in the end is just about having an audience, right? Like it doesn't matter how you do it, you build up an audience and you build up access to a large number of people and you can make money. I always say it's kind of like it should be part of a bigger picture. You can make courses, you can do whatever you want, but it's really just having influence over a large number of people. And so for me, affiliate marketing is working backwards. There's two pieces. There's a conversion system, which is where you capture emails and you create a way to make money off those emails, right? In my case, an automated way if possible. But basically some system that basically monetizes your audience. And then it's got the audience building side of affiliate marketing. And that's, for me, creating content, right? That's the free way. So TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, whatever it is, you put out content that attracts a certain kind of person that you're going for. And then you send the people that watch your content and enjoy it and vibe with it and vibe with you, right? You send them to your conversion system, and your conversion system kind of captures them and makes them, it gives you access to them for forever, as long as you can hold their trust and things like that. And you make money, for me, pretty passively if your conversion system is built in the right way from then on out. And all I really did for years as an affiliate was after I created my conversion system, I just made content all day. That's like the only thing I did. I was just a content creator. Everything else was in place, so I could just spend 99% of my time putting out YouTube videos, TikTok videos, things like that.
And the conversion system is basically just emails, right?
Yeah, so super simple lead magnet. You find something that everyone who's watching your type of video is looking for, some hole in their life, right? You create some small lead magnet around that. You capture emails. If I did it again, I would capture phone numbers too, if I'm being honest. That's kind of one of my big, I think, mistakes looking back. But capturing that email or phone number, access to them. And then it's just a mix of automated emails that sell them things. And then I'll do once every couple months a full launch, something, whether I'm promoting someone's product that's doing a product launch, like Tony Robbins is doing something big in the next few weeks with mastermind.com. So something big where I'll push that, or I'll just have in the in-between just kind of automated emails going out saying, if you're interested in blogging, right, it's a side hustle that works. Here's the best blogging training out there. If you're interested in this, and I'll kind of just move them through it.
Do you find that your list ever gets confused? Like you're promoting so many different things. Maybe they're opting into like a side hustle list. And so it makes sense that you're talking about a lot of different things. But have you noticed that? Or because I that was a big concern of mine for a long time. And then I just sort of realized like everybody's on a little bit different path and you never know what's going to land with whom. Is that the way you look at it? Or
yeah, at one point it got messy where it's like, why are you talking about this, right? Like that's not who you are, right? And kind of like you said, one thing I did is split up my list. So I've got the general side hustle people that came in for like a lot of these guys just came in looking for a list of 97 of the best side hustles, right? So I can promote anything to these guys, right?
Yeah.
Some people came in just through affiliate marketing. So I segmented those guys like they're very specifically looking for one way to make money, right?
Yeah.
And kind of what I do now is I'm just a lot more picky about what I'll promote. Okay. So I get these people reaching out and it's like, hey, I've got this marketing product, right? Like this great software, this great marketing training, and it is great. I'm like, it doesn't make sense for who my audience is now, right? I've got affiliate marketers and I've got like stay-at-home side hustlers looking to make $500 to $1,000 a month. Your training's great. It's not going to work with either of these guys. And you kind of learn that the hard way. Like you put out this huge blast to like 50,000 people and you get one sale and you're like, okay, that wasn't worth all that effort, for that one sale.
Yeah. I had one when I was running my agency, like really recently into it, maybe like 8 months. And some like stock trader guy that wants to manage rich people's money was like, hey, can you send your list an email about like us managing their money? Cause they're all orthodontists, make good money. And I was like, he was like, it'll be an affiliate deal. We'll send you X amount. It wasn't even that much. It's probably like $200 or $300 per person that signed up. And I was like, I spammed my list with that. And I'm like, man, I should have just sold on my agency services.
Make way more.
Yeah. Yeah. And you hit, when you start to gain a little bit of traction online, you start to get people reaching out. And nowadays it's 99% no. But the first time you get people reaching out, you're so excited that you want to say yes.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I remember I got a bike one, like a Peloton competitor. I think we both got that one. I sent it to you. I was like,
sounds familiar.
yeah. And I was like, yeah, I don't think I'm going to, have these guys sponsor the YouTube channel.
And it's funny, like, why would you even try to sponsor my YouTube channel?
Exactly.
You know, like, we should both be seeing this as a bad opportunity, not just me.
Yes. Okay. So you get up to like really, really good money with ClickFunnels. You've got your courses. At what point did you transition out of promoting ClickFunnels, or was it just kind of like the courses are doing well and I have a bunch of other affiliate products, so I'm trying to diversify?
Yeah, it just didn't make as much sense. Kind of like we talked about, I didn't do as well because now my audience wasn't business owners, it was affiliate marketers. And affiliate marketers, we kind of just talked about the conversion system's really easy, right? It's a lead magnet, a landing page, and some emails. And ClickFunnels is a lot more than that. And so it just didn't make sense to say, hey, here's this awesome software. Here's this software with 10,000 different things it can do. You need one of them. Go ahead and pay $1,000, go and pay $100 a month or whatever for that one tiny thing. And so that was kind of the transition away from ClickFunnels, where it just didn't make sense. And one of the biggest lessons I've learned along the way is like, do what's best for your audience and you'll do better in the long run, right? Like I think there was a period where I was trying to like force it a little, right? Like, no, ClickFunnels, I'm pushing ClickFunnels. And people were like, they start to lose a little trust in you because like, that's not the best option for us, right? Like there's kind of like a clear cut fact that you're doing affiliate commissions here and not giving us what's a better option for our situation.
Yeah. Did you ever scale a team that was too big during this time? Like hire people just because you were like, oh, this is going to be great and we're going to scale, and then realize that was not the path?
No, I have always been very wary of hiring, primarily because I feel like a lot of people in our space, especially when they do like Philippines, India, stuff like that, they're a little callous in the way they do it, right? Like, oh, we'll scale and it didn't work, shut the door, and then they fire 50 people, they fire that whole team like overnight, and they tell that story 5 years from now. But you got to think of these like people that like lost their job overnight because you didn't do your, you were bad at your job, and that affected their job. And so I'm like really scared to let people go. I don't like to let people go, right? I feel like I get pretty close to my employees, and so I'm very wary to hire someone that I don't think I'm going to be using you for years, for sure.
Okay. And so right now, what does the team look like?
I've got like a general VA, and she can do everything. So she's awesome. Had to really hunt to find her, but she can do emails, she can do video editing, she can do web design, graphic design. Like she is awesome. And she's kind of like the center of my business, I guess. And then I've got a video editor that does all my video editing. She can do some, but he'll do like the big stuff on my channel and everything. And that's it. I used to have a copywriter. I used to have a blog writer. I used to have a software guy. We were trying to do a little software, and it all kind of fizzled down to like just my core business is just creating content, and all you need to create content is a video editor and then someone to kind of manage the system.
Yeah, it's like the Spencer Mecham model is stumble into something that works and then just like continue to do exactly that thing until it stops working. And then do the next thing.
I shoot a lot of links out there just like firing things. Yeah. But yeah, in the end, I came to the realization that like, if you have an audience, you can make money in a myriad of different ways. So focus all your efforts on building an audience, and you'll figure out the rest as you go.
Yeah. So in there, I know of a couple like pretty insane stories that you have just accidentally, these accidental successes that we haven't mentioned yet. One of which is the KuCoin craze, right? I'm trying to remember. What was it? The $100,000 KuCoin commission?
Oh yeah.
I want to hear that story, and then I want to talk about Amazon influencers for a little after that.
The KuCoin one. So I'm trying to remember. It was almost the exact same as the Bitcoin story, where the crypto there was main crypto, which is like Bitcoin and Ethereum. Everyone knows that. And then there was like the alt underworld of crypto, which is like all these weird little coins, the ones that people know about being like Dogecoin, right? These like puppy coins that make no sense. They're absolutely nonsensical. Like, anyway, they really leave a bad taste in most people's mouths. But I'm that craze is going on. Dogecoin, Shiba Coin, all these coins are coming out, and so I'm like, I'm just gonna go do what I did with Bitcoin, I guess, and like show people how to buy Dogecoin and Shiba Coin, and made some random video on KuCoin, where KuCoin is a crypto exchange, and oh, yes. Sorry, let me go back. We're gonna have to cut that.
Okay.
I'm telling the wrong story here.
Okay.
I remember that now.
Sorry.
So editor, just go back and I'll start telling my story again. Yeah. So the story with KuCoin is I was sending people to this crypto exchange called KuCoin, and the way KuCoin's affiliate program works is you make a small percentage of everything that you send them. So if I send a person to KuCoin and that person, trades $10,000, well, KuCoin will probably make $500 off of that, and I'll make $200 of that total. And so I love percentage models because the sky's the limit, right? So email marketing, if you're looking for a place to go, email marketing is a great start because you pay based on how big your list is, which means you can have insane commissions coming, thousands of dollars in a month from one person. But anyway, so I'm sending people to KuCoin. I'm making like $100 a month, $200 a month, just little bits as I'm making these videos, and I'm telling people to go to KuCoin and sign up, and that's how they can buy Dogecoin and Shiba Coin and all these random coins that no one knows about. And but again, it's a percentage model, so you make a small percent of everything that KuCoin makes off of that person forever.
Wow.
Which is still small, right? Like KuCoin's making 1% of their trading fees. You're making half of what KuCoin makes, so it's like whatever. And then one day I wake up and I go to log into KuCoin and it shows a $42,000 commission. And I'm like going around like, is this a mistake? Like, pull the money out quick. But I go and I'm like digging into it to figure out what's going on because I'm like haven't even been paying attention to this. And someone at some point, right, I've been doing this about a year and a half, had gone in, they'd watched one of my little videos about how to buy some coin, and they'd signed up for KuCoin. And then maybe they came into a big inheritance. I don't know. Like somewhere along the lines, though, they traded $15 million in a single day on KuCoin. And you would think that I would have seen more trades like this, but it was just one day, like bloop, big shoot up. It's like maybe they were money laundering. I don't know, because they moved $15 million through KuCoin and then it was gone.
Yeah.
And I made $42,000 just like that.
That's insane.
It was great. Yeah, it's just insane, right? It's kind of the fun thing about affiliate marketing and just online business in general is like the highs and the lows. The highs can be just nuts, right? You're just like out of nowhere, just massive wins.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's funny because the just having a YouTube video out there on whatever will give you the weirdest, like most random opportunities because everybody uses YouTube. And like, I remember the first time I figured this out, I was on like I had moved to London, which was like very foreign to me that I would be able to just live in a foreign country and like still work. And then some guy that was from like Azerbaijan or something, but was living in Germany, had seen one of my videos and wanted to do a consulting call for like $200. And that was one of the first times I had ever done consulting. And I didn't even like set it up on Zoom. I think we literally just had a WhatsApp call, and I was walking through this graveyard in London and getting paid like $200 for the call. And I was like, this is the weirdest thing. And then when you start making like other people build the brand, you just make the video that shows them how to use KuCoin, high level, whatever it is. And I get emails every day from like super high level individuals that are excited about, in my case, high level. And I get to capture a lot of attention from them as well as the beginners, as well as just people all over, and super cool. But the percentage model on the, something as simple as KuCoin, where they don't feel like they owe you anything. There's no bonuses you have to give. There's no recurring element to it, but you've made more than I'll ever make off of a single high-level affiliate.
You don't know that.
Yeah, that's true. Who knows? They pay the annual plan for, What would that be? 20 years? And I'll probably beat you.
They need that option though. The diehard fan that just wants to blow it all.
You never know. I'm sure High Level will be around in 20 years. So
in that, I mean, if High Level ever added some kind of email marketing option where you're paying per subscriber. So I pushed ActiveCampaign for like 3 years, really hard before they got bought out. But same thing. I had a couple guys sign up, nothing like the $42,000 ones, but guys with lists of hundreds of thousands of people on them, and they would pay ActiveCampaign tens of thousands of dollars a year. And so a couple people, I think I had someone sign up for at least a few months that I was making like $4,000 a month in commissions off that one guy. And I was like, it's a legit model to just go out there, find people with big lists, get them signed up to ActiveCampaign, like if you're really good at it, I'll build everything for you. I'll build all the emails, everything. You just sign up under my link. Everything else is free at that point, right? And you can be raking in $4,000 a month for forever, which is crazy.
Yeah, that's insane. Has been pretty insane is the Amazon influencer program, right?
Yeah. So if you create content, you should all be familiar with burnout, right? You put out videos and then it's just like, oh, what am I going to talk about today? And so I was hitting a burnout phase, and I just put a post in a Facebook group that I own. It said, "Who's got cool ways to make money?" I'm out. And a guy, his name's John. He's like, I got a cool way. Hit me up in DMs, and I hit him up in DMs, and he shows me. It's called the Amazon Influencer Program, and really, really simple business model where. If you've ever been to an Amazon product page, there's usually like 6 pictures that the company uploads of their product. And then there's a little 6 number, and there's 6 videos. And those are videos of the product that they call them influencers, but it's just like random people have taken, right? They got the product, they took a video of it. And I wasn't aware of this. I'm sure no one's aware of this, but if you watch that video, so you're sitting there on like a product page for a blender, you watch the video, some guy like me is like, this blender has 3 buttons and chops bananas really good, right? Like just super easy. Like my iPhone, like I'm just like selfie and iPhone it, right?
Yeah.
You watch that video and I get an affiliate commission, like a referral commission.
Yeah.
Even though I'm not referring you, right? So he showed me that. And luckily, I think I've been around long enough to see that was a really cool opportunity, right? Everything else in the affiliate world is like, you've got to send traffic to win. You've got to get a ton of traffic, send it somewhere, and that's how you're going to win. And this is like, Amazon's going to send you traffic. You're going to help them convert that traffic in the easiest way possible, which is just a video with your iPhone, and you're going to get paid as if you referred that traffic to them. Yeah. And so I tried that out for like 3 months, and it was like $5 the first month, $2,000 the next month, like $5,000 the next month. And that's like me going around my house just like demoing things, right? Like everything, like my mic, right? I have a mic for my YouTube channel. Hey, this is the mic. This is what it sounds like. This is what it looks like. You know, here's the arm of the mic. This goes up and down. Here's my chair. Like I'm literally just walking around, like just talking about things. Get up to multi-thousands of dollars a month doing that. Yeah. And then Christmas hits, and I go mega nuts again. Like I'm seeing the opportunity here, and so I'm gonna start researching and buying like hot selling products and getting my video on those product pages. And I do that in December, and like I bought like 7 Christmas trees. I bought a hot tub, bought like all the hot selling gifts that year, like electric skateboards. Like, wow, so fun. First off, literally filled a room about this big. So I've got a room in my basement, 12 by 12, boxes, floor to ceiling. Filled the entire room with boxes. It was like a kid. That month was like being a kid again in a toy store, and Mr. Beast hands you a credit card, right? He's like, buy whatever you want. And that's what it felt like. He was like, I want that, I want that, I want that. Great. It'll pay for itself and more. Make a video about it.
And you put it on the business card.
Of course. But no, I didn't.
For legal purposes,
maybe,
you did not.
I don't know. Ask my accountant. But yeah, so, and it's a business expense, right? Because you're buying it for the video. Yeah. Anyway, so then I put out a couple of videos about that. Like this is the best side hustle right now, everyone. Like, and it was cool because I made a bunch of money. That was cool. It's great. But then I've probably had over 1,000 people reach out. That video got maybe 500,000 views, maybe more. And I've had hundreds, if not thousands of people reach out since then and say, I did it, followed your video. You're right. It was easy. You know, I had just yesterday, a guy was messaging me, paid off $150,000 in student loan debt bought a house like off of
Wow.
this influencer program, right? And I mean, I kid you not, dozens of stories like that one, and then hundreds where people are just like, me and my girlfriend are doing it. We're making an extra $2,000 a month. She quit her job, you know, just fun things like that.
And you didn't even sell a course on it. You literally just made a video.
Didn't sell a course. I found a guy's course, and so I made a full, like, this is everything I know, and working pretty good. But there is a course you can go out and like really, I'm sure you can make more than I am. And some people have like joined communities, bought the course, and are doing even better than I was at the time. But yeah, it was just like a full tutorial video, and it was really cool for me. It was kind of like a twist in my business of like, that was so cool, like to help that many people. And it was like, I'm going to do that again. And I am now constantly on the hunt. Like, what is the next opportunity that good? And I haven't found one that good since. But it's really like a goal of mine, like to say like, to do it again. Do you get that feeling of like over 1,000 people quit their jobs because of a video you made, right?
Yeah, that's pretty insane. And it's so needed in a niche of like top 10 side hustles. And it's just like some yahoo like dancing around talking about stuff that's legitimate perhaps, but hyping it up way too much.
Yeah. And it's honestly hard to be a creator in that space, right? Because you don't find an Amazon influencer program every week, right? And so you got all this filler content. It's like trying to build a subscriber base. And then you find the opportunity and it's like, this is the real one, guys. This is, people pay attention to this. And sometimes it's a bummer because you're like, I think I found a real one. And then that video totally flops. And you're like, no, you all 200,000 of you watch this video, but I need you to watch this video, not that one.
Yeah, that's relatable for sure. So I feel like you touched on something that's really interesting to me. And it's that the very best opportunities actually don't get talked about because they're so good. For example, I met this guy over the summer who's really into like travel hacking and credit card churning. But like, I've never heard about this. Maybe you have, but it's like manufactured buying. So they'll sign up for a credit card and let's say the bonus, you have to spend like $10,000 in 3 months. They'll go buy $10,000 worth of Visa gift cards, get the bonus the next week, and then just spend all of that. But then
you can get in trouble for this. But I have heard of it.
So he said slowly everything has gotten so saturated and like most companies have kind of cracked down on stuff like this, that all the best stuff, and I quote, has gone underground. And this is the craziest one. You're going to like go research this later. I promise you. He would not tell me the name of the bank that he's doing this with, but there's a bank where you can fund it with a credit card and get all the credit card points, and then you can just pull that money back out and pay off the credit card.
Yeah.
And so, and he's, I think, figured out a way to make the points count in certain categories, even if they're not that category. So like, let's say you get 3x points on
5x on
ad
ads,
spend, or whatever, but you're not spending it on that. He like runs it through this other software and it codes as the 3x points.
I don't know if that's an opportunity or a scam.
Yeah, that's a good point. But he's making, I did the math and I think it's $10,000 a month for 10 minutes of literally walking in to his room, funding the credit card with $10,000 in the morning, pulling out the money from yesterday, paying off the credit card, and just getting the spread on the points.
You don't think at some point he's going to get like blacklisted on every bank and credit card site in America?
He said, to be fair, that has happened to him in a couple things. And there was another guy that was at a conference and he actually like owns a bank. Like he's starting they're a Silicon Valley startup and they have a bank. And he was like, I need to hire you for consulting. So like nobody takes advantage of us because he knows exactly. It's kind of like a White Collar. If you ever saw that show, like they hire
he's
him
doing the catch me if you can model.
Yeah, exactly. So anyway, I've been trying to figure out, and I feel like the only way is like events and networking, like all this stuff that's like, it's just too good. Like the influencers aren't making because he's not going to go make a YouTube video about that. Because if he does, it's immediately going to get shut down because even if 10 people are doing that every single day, he's done for, you know? So interesting. I'm trying to figure out how to find those opportunities
my goal is to find them and put them on my channel.
Expose
so don't
them
tell
all.
me, don't tell me about them.
Tony, if you're watching this, and I'm sorry,
I'm coming for Tony.
Oh, that's hilarious. So if you were, let's say, beginning and you're trying to get a side hustle that is one of these best opportunities, because now the Amazon influencer program was great. It's now kind of become saturated to a degree, correct?
To a degree, I would still, I mean, if you are in that boat, I would still,
Yeah.
it's still a great, easy side hustle that people can start and make $500 to $1,000 a month.
Okay.
Way easier than surveys.
Okay. But it's harder to get to that 10K, 20K a month.
You're not going to hit my 20 grand December probably again. Yeah.
Was that your highest month with that?
Yeah. That December I was talking about, I guess I didn't get the number, huh? So all those Christmas trees and all those toys, spent 12 grand, made 20 grand.
Okay.
But the real crazy thing is it's been residual since then. So I'm just kind of like, I'll make stuff when I buy it now, but pretty much out of the game. And it's residually $3,000 to $7,000 a month from that like initial surge in December.
Yeah.
And it was fun.
Yeah.
Like way better than a job.
Yes, exactly. And one of those, I think Travis Stevenson made a course about it. And all his ads are like, this isn't a side hustle. This isn't a business. This is literally the easiest thing ever.
And he was right. It was so easy you didn't have to buy the cars.
He's like, this is the only thing I've gotten my wife to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you literally could sit down in 30 minutes and be running.
Yeah. Okay. And if you want to find out with all of the other amazing opportunities out there, you know where to find Spencer online. He'll be exposing them faster than you can.
I might have one right now, actually.
Oh,
I'm in the middle. I'm getting into TikTok shops, if you know what that is. I still am figuring out what it is, honestly. It's one of those where like I'm struggling on YouTube because you type in TikTok, make money, and there's like 40 different crappy videos and stuff. But you can do it as an affiliate or just as almost like a drop shipping thing. But TikTok shops is a new way where people basically just watch your TikTok video and then there's like a buy now link, and you can do it as an affiliate or you can do it as as like your own product. But TikTok is still such an easy way to go viral, right? And so you make these videos just about products, right? And you put them on a TikTok shop, and you can. I'm seeing these people, the video gets 100,000 views and they get 1,000, 1,500 sales, and getting 100,000 views on TikTok just isn't that hard. So TikTok shops is one that I think is potentially gonna be huge. TikTok in general, honestly, I say this coming from YouTube and someone who doesn't really like TikTok even, like they're making huge moves in the creator space. Like they are doing so much to help creators and try to get creators to focus on TikTok. I think they're gonna if not that, they have like the TikTok creativity program. I don't know if you've heard about that.
It's a like rev share thing.
Rev share. So brands that want to run ads on TikTok, right? They say, why don't you have your users make videos for us? So I think the big one, I think Airbnb's done it. Maybe Uber, one of those big companies has done it. Can you just have like some random TikTok users make a video that would be like a UGC, right, ad for Uber, and it's a rev share. So they spend $1 million on TikTok ads. I don't know exactly how the algorithm works, but you can make. I think people that have done really well have made $40,000, $50,000 in a month because they made a fun video. The company's like, yeah, that's a great ad. We're going to run paid ad spend to it, and then you're going to take 10% of that or whatever. And, big brands, big money.
What a time to be alive.
I know.
It's like that cranberry juice guy. Did you see him?
Yeah. Drinking his juice on a skateboard.
Yeah.
So weird.
I think he was like homeless before.
Yeah. I don't know if he's homeless. Maybe.
Or broke.
Definitely. Yeah. But he just like rode around California beaches drinking his cranberry juice.
Yeah.
Made a video, went viral, got sponsored by the cranberry juice company, right?
Yeah.
And I think probably in the millions now.
Yeah. And all the brands are realizing that like being this faceless corporate entity is not helping them at all. And so I'm seeing a lot more brands making these like hilarious, like meme based content. And
TikTok's kind of like leading that, I think. If I was starting anywhere, it'd be TikTok right now. And a lot of people are like, China. Yeah. And I'm like, yeah, do you want to make money or not? Right?
Yeah. I remember one of your testimonials on like a sales page one time that I read was like, Spencer told me to start on TikTok. I didn't want to do any dancing.
Yeah.
So I just made normal TikTok videos. It works.
It does. It does.
No, and he had like no dancing in parentheses.
Yeah. I mean, no one wants to start on TikTok when they first start. And then I feel like it's within like a first few videos. I've heard TikTok does it on purpose. I don't know if that's real, but a video goes viral and it's like, oh, wow. Like I just got 1 million views. That was another one of my wins. We've talked about wins. A mentor told me to do TikTok. I had made one video. So I signed up for TikTok when it first came out because I was in the space. Made one video. It was of my feet. I think I did my bare feet and I said, this is what it looks like when you work from home. This is what your feet look like or something. Super dumb. Got like 100 views. It was a terrible video. Got a couple comments from weird foot fetish guys.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Oh, dear.
I remember reading that one. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
What a freaky platform.
That's a side hustle you can make a video about.
Dude, you could. That's a niche.
Yeah.
But then I had a mentor that's like, you should give TikTok another try. I'm like, okay. Go make one more TikTok video, my second TikTok video. And 5 million views, like something crazy.
Wow.
And again, this time I actually spent 30 minutes looking at what was working and like, okay, I'll kind of follow what they're doing. But like 5 million views on like an accidental video that I was just like trying to learn TikTok, like how it worked, you know?
Yeah.
And a blow up video. I don't think I've ever had another win like that on TikTok, which is really annoying.
Yeah, I totally believe that they bait the front end and then get you to keep creating content. One more thing I want to talk about. Well, two more actually before we're done here. One, we had lunch a while back and I had made a very big crypto mistake and I had lost like not just $100,000, but like my first $100,000 that I had like skimped, and I was like, this is the money I have saved. This is what I have to show for the last, 3 years of my life or however long it took me to save it up. And I remember sitting across the table from you and you're like, so I lost that last match. I done that 5 times.
Yes, I am heartless.
And I was like, yeah, but was it your first $100,000? You were like, it doesn't matter. Just go make more money. But you've had your fair share of crypto losses and other mistakes.
Oh yeah.
Can you share maybe one or two of the worst?
Yeah. Let me think. Man. So I already shared the stock market one. After that, when I tell you stories, like looking back, I sound so dumb. You're like, how is this guy making money or finding any success? He's so dumb. But this like random guy comes to me. He gets introduced me through someone else. He's like, we're starting a crypto fund in Australia. I have no idea who he is. No idea like if it's legit. He sends me like, here's the paperwork, but we're going to like invest your money into crypto for you so you don't have to do all the research. And I was like, that sounds nice. He's like, we know what we're doing. Don't worry. And so I go to the bank that I'm wiring this money to this random guy. And Chase Bank, I remember they actually, it was $30,000. And that was like some of my first money. This is a long time ago.
Oh, wow.
And Chase Bank, they like call me in. Like I go to do it and they don't just do it. They like call me in to talk to somebody like, what are you sending this for? And I like explain it. And they're like, we'll send it, but like, are you sure? like, do you understand? Like, I can't remember the exact conversation, but I remember being annoyed. Like, yeah, it's my money. Like, send my money. And they're like, stuff like this usually doesn't work out. But I sent the 30 grand, and that guy traded my money down to $1,000. Like, loss after loss after loss after loss. It's like, man, I could have done that. You know, like, I couldn't have done. I could not have traded worse. Like.
And he took a fee, had to take his fee at the gates.
He probably still made money. It's probably true.
Yeah.
But did that. And then.
Wow. Okay. That was like early on.
That was early on. And so you'd think that I'd be like, wow, I better start being careful. But then I get into this other company. I'm not even going to say the name of the company because I don't want to get like sued.
Yeah.
I don't know. But this other company that's like it was so big in crypto at the time, right? Like 5% a month, 10% a month, we'll pay you.
Yeah.
And so I get into that company and I put in, I think I had $90,000. That's a lot of money.
Yeah.
Anyway, I put in $90,000 and they're paying you like 5% every month, which is awesome on $90,000. Like I'm like have a retireable income from this.
Yeah.
And then you get that email. Like you see like it was like a sign the day before. It was like, we're gonna pause withdrawals for a couple hours while we like work on maintenance or something, and you're like, okay. Then the next day, like, we don't have any more money. And those guys are still, it's like a year and a half later, and they're still claiming like, oh, we're working on it. It's coming. They send out these updates like, we're doing this and this and this. And it's like, it's a year and a half and you still have zero money, like not even a percentage. But anyway, so another 90,000 down the hole in crypto. I still don't know. Like I tell people to this day, like I put in a bunch of money in the beginning. I kind of made money, got paid in crypto. I have no idea if I'm profitable on crypto or not in like the long run. I could have lost hundreds of thousands. I could have made hundreds of thousands. It's impossible to know. Like crypto is just so complicated, you know.
There's more people that should be willing to admit that.
Yeah, that's true.
A lot of your crypto influencers are probably in the same boat.
Oh yeah, but they know it.
They know that they're not profitable.
I'm making money from my YouTube channel, losing half of it on crypto, but still making more.
Oh dear. Yeah, learn from our mistakes. Anyone watching this, like if it sounds too good to be true, it is. Unless it's the Amazon influencer program.
I was gonna say, like, I don't actually believe that. I actually don't like that statement.
No, I want to hear your opinion. But for investments, I would say, like somebody who's like, I'm gonna take your investment and make X amount. I feel like it's 99% of the time, like that should be ignored.
Yeah, and I say too good to be true with a caveat because that should be your mindset. But at the same time, I like really believe there are like little gems out there. And then also a lot of people use that statement as too good to be true when there's like decent and awesome investments and they just do decent, you know, and like, there's really good investments out there, but you're so focused on your IRA, you know, the rich people, that's not what they're doing with theirs. They're doing smart, good investments, not Spencer investments, but like good investments. Right. And so like they say it's when I feel like so many people say it's too good to be true. Anything beyond an IRA or very, very
or
simple.
a 9-to-5 job.
Yeah. And like, even like buy an Airbnb and even like real estate right now, you could still buy real estate. It pays for itself over the next 30 years and you own it in 30 years, right? Like that opportunity is not complicated. It's not a scam. It's better than an IRA.
Yeah.
And so many people are like, no, like you try to do the numbers for them. No, it doesn't. Like there's got to be a catch. And it's like, not really. Like I own 5 properties right now on the East Coast and I don't spend any time on them. They all make me $100 to $300 a month. They are property managed. I spend maybe 10 minutes a year doing the taxes on them. And like, that's a very real, very simple opportunity.
Yeah.
That when I describe to people, they still say it's too good to be true.
Yeah. I remember your, before we met in person ever, watching some of your TikToks. And one of them was like you wearing this beanie with like that makes your ears come out like this. And then it's like smart Spencer and like dumb Spencer talking to each other. And the smart one's like giving dumb one advice about like side hustles. And the other guy's like, you think I know how to make a website?
Yeah.
Like, I don't. You're like, okay, well, probably just like go get a job then.
That was a fun video. Yeah. Because we like you, even though 90% of it is too good to be true and is garbage, maybe 99, right?
Yeah.
Like you'll never find the gold mine if you don't search, right? The people 200 years ago that found gold mines didn't like walk into California and just like look around and see a gold mine. They dug and dug and dug and dug. So you got to dig.
Yeah, that's great. It's good perspective. And that brings me to my next question, which is you're extremely focused on being jobless, even more so like
I've never described it that way.
I mean, you said jobless at the beginning, right?
Is that the word I use? Yeah,
I think so.
It doesn't sound great, but
I think I saw
job free sounds
okay. Yeah, free time.
Yeah,
unlimited free time.
That's it.
Actually, not PTO because it's your own business. But I feel like you're trying to transition even out of business activities that you don't enjoy. Obviously, you've probably been doing that for a while, but trying to get to like a stable income that doesn't rely at all on your time. What's your goal there, and how are you going about it?
Yeah. So first of all, I think that should be everyone's journey. And if you look at most of the big people, that is their journey, right? You've got your job or whatever. Starting your own business allows you to make significantly more, right? You're not looking at 5% raises anymore and little investments in your IRA. You know, you can do well and really get paid for doing well. And so I feel like this journey of start your own business, take all this extra money, whether from selling your business or from just doing better and making more. And then the last step, the final like resting place where you've actually made it is the investing side, where where you'll see all these people start turning into investors because that's real passive income and safe money. So for me, it's been initially it was a dartboard, and you guys have heard some of my dartboard stories where it's like lose money, make money, right? And I'm just throwing darts. And it's kind of gotten more refined over time. And my strategy now, one is focus a ton on real estate. The more you get into real estate, the more you realize just how good it is on every front, on appreciation, on safety of money, assets backed, taxes, like everything points to real estate being a smart investment. So I focus a lot on real estate, and most of my real estate investing, I don't know if this makes me sound dumb or smart, but I find people that I know are experts in what they're doing and who I trust, and then I give them money. And then to put it in like the real estate world, right? I've got someone who's a close friend. He's built up multiple businesses. He wants to get into the franchise world, so he wanted me to invest in a franchise with him. He's built up multiple businesses. I know he knows what he's doing. I trust him implicitly. I would give him $100,000 and know that he's going to take my money seriously, right? Mm-hmm. And so I do. That's kind of like my strategy now. Is I'm just waiting. I'm networking and waiting for people that I really trust, who say they can do something, and they've got a background that shows yes they can do that. So I'm investing in a car dealership with a friend as well. He owned car dealerships for like 7 years. Again, I would give this guy's $100,000, no questions asked, because I trust him that much. And he's saying, I found this opportunity in the car dealership space, right? Yeah. And so I'm giving him money for that. And then same thing in real estate. There's a couple of real estate guys that do like rehabs and stuff that I invest with. But for me, it's just because I'm still in the business world. I'm not an expert at a lot of these things. It's just become a matter of connecting with the right people who I really trust and who really know what they're doing and take my money seriously, and then giving them my money. And that's been working a lot better.
Okay. Yeah, I like that approach. And it's such a simple way to explain it. I saw a piece of content you made where you compared like W-2 income to W-2 investments, which is like your IRA and your stock market, just, VTI and chill type investing is like having a W-2 job. It's good. You can count on it. Like it's going to be solid. Oh, yeah. But there's also like entrepreneurial investing, which is what you're doing here, finding experts in their space and then taking the money that you've made in your expert space and kind of diversifying it across, right? Yeah,
and it really is like initially I thought, well, it's got to come at a catch of being more risky, right? Mm-hmm. And there's a point where I think you hit that, but I don't think I've hit that point yet. I think you can go pretty far into investing in a very safe way, right? You can invest in things that are asset backed, that really are smart investments, but still crush an IRA. And like when I came to my model, if you could call what I just described a model.
997 course dropping soon.
Yes. Let's sell this sucker. But just came to it from experience of, right, like I'm looking, and the thing you have to realize about investing is if the investment has a possibility of going to zero, that's a huge loss. Like it better have insane potential returns to match that. And a lot of times I think in the beginning, me and other people, right, like I'm getting into that crypto fund, right? Like that's someone I don't know and don't trust. So it's got a good possibility of going to zero, of them stealing my money or being terrible at it. And the potential highs just didn't outweigh that, right? Didn't make sense for that. And same thing with this crypto one. And most of I've become, you probably have too, somewhat disenfranchised with crypto because the chance is always it could go to zero. Mm-hmm. And if it doesn't go to zero, you're probably going to get hacked, and so it'll go to zero anyway. Then you're still going to have to pay taxes on it, right?
Yeah, or 3 Hours Capital.
Yeah, or spend like
over-leverage themselves and screw the entire market.
Or Time Capital. I just spent like 6 hours yesterday trying to figure out how to like move. I got all this crypto that I've earned money on anyway, and I could not figure out how to sell it, like liquidity issues and moving it around. And you're in the US, so you got to use VPNs, and it was like 6 hours of my time just to sell my dang crypto. It's so frustrating.
Yeah.
But anyway, what was I saying now?
Investments that can go to zero should be considered.
Like you should almost never even consider it, or if it does, it's got to be like, okay, but the potential payout is crazy high, and I'm only going to do a little bit, right? Because things like in real estate and the business world, like they don't go to zero, right? Real estate doesn't go to zero, and you can still do really good, solid returns in the right places, especially if you're willing to put in work. And so
Yeah.
real estate, business, I invested in like a ski resort, things like that, right? Like the returns in the ski resort are going to be, if all goes well, like 3 to 5x, which is pretty good in 5 years, right? Like your IRA is not going to 3 to 5x in that many years.
Yeah, it'll 2x in 10 years. That's the
Yeah.
one.
Yeah. If you double in 10 years, you should be pretty happy.
Yeah.
But it's still backed by this ski resort that they already own half the mountain. Now they're building, they're expanding, and I'm just investing in that expansion. And you can go look at the appraisals and stuff, like the numbers are all there. It's a pretty safe investment, 100 times safer than anything I could ever do in crypto. And it's still 5 to 1, which is like not crypto-ish numbers, but numbers you should be happy with.
Yeah. I was talking to my brother the other day. My assistant is from Tunisia.
Tunisia?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So it's below Italy in Africa. And the big thing there apparently is investing in olive trees.
Oh.
And I had never heard of that. So I sort of like laughed at him, and he's going to watch this. So he'll message me on Slack right after this, I'm sure. But like, I was just like, no way, it's olive trees that you're investing in. And he's like, yeah, like my neighbors, they do pretty well. And the way that I know is because they have a lot of olive trees. Like it seems fake. Coming from where
that's like your money is olive trees. That's how they measure your
yeah,
wealth.
Yeah, exactly. But apparently it's nice because it's fairly passive. Like the olives grow, but you don't have to do much. And then there's like harvesting season where you have to manage that, and then you sell the olive oil. And I was telling my brother this, and I was expecting him to be like, oh, that's funny. He's like, no, that's actually really cool. The people I have the most respect for when it comes to investing are people that own natural resources, like land, like real estate, like orchards, things like this, because it's actually like generational wealth when you can have a plot of land with like things that produce goods that will always be in demand. And I was like, wow, that's actually like super interesting.
Right. It's smart, and it feels better to invest in that stuff, right? Like, oh, I'm providing like meat for the city or something like that. Like it feels better to invest in that than crypto, where it's like, even if I made $100,000, I probably made $100,000 because someone else lost $100,000, right? Like that's kind of how investing in that kind of stuff works. So spot on. Like it feels better. Like this ice cream franchise I said we're investing in, it just feels better. Like, oh, it's a real business that's like providing something, and people are happily going in and getting ice cream. There's just a little bit different feel to it.
Yeah, that's cool. So you will just basically accumulate cash until one of these opportunities comes across your desk, and then you just do a lump sum.
Then I'm ready. Yeah,
over $100,000 each time, right?
Yeah. So I try to like 100,000 right now is kind of like my amount that I like to do. It's like not an amount that could devastate me, but could still do pretty good. And maybe that changes over time, but that's where I'm at right now. And in the beginning, it was like a hole burning in the pocket, right? Like I've got $100,000. Where's a good investment? Where's a good investment? Oh, you've got one. Good. I take my money, And that's where a lot of those bad investment choices came in. So now it's just like, it's so much better to not lose money than it is.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what I'm saying, but you get the idea. I would rather just not lose it than maybe make a little bit.
Yeah. Okay. And what's the goal? Like, let's say you get to 10K, 20K a month, and you don't have to do anything. You've got random affiliate products that you made videos years ago that are still paying you. And those aren't, like, the way I see affiliate income is like it could disappear at any time, but it's really nice and probably won't. But it's not like it's backed by a house or some real estate.
That's why investments is what I consider the safest one, because now you've got real backing.
Yeah. So like, I'm sure you've got passive income from affiliates, but I don't know if you count that. But these types of investments that are pretty much like, this isn't going away and it's monthly. What's your goal in terms of income there?
So I've always had like a goal of just a 6-figure passive income. Like we're pretty much there. And so I'm kind of like in this awkward, like, I don't know, like I don't have a goal beyond that. My goal has always been a 6-figure passive income and a cabin. I've always wanted a cabin, and we're cabin hunting right now. So hopefully at some point we get the cabin, but we've got the money for the cabin, and then, which will, by the way, Airbnb itself out. So the cabin will be in a place it's an asset still. Right. But anyway, it then becomes, I guess, the search for meaning, right? Like now we're still making money. We've got excess of what we need. And like, what do you do with it? Do you start something charitable? Do you create some kind of trust and run something like that? Right. Like that's kind of where I'm stuck right now. So you've caught up to the current time.
Got it. We'll have to go. The place that we're doing this podcast is below a counseling service.
Yes,
So
that's next.
we'll have to just like walk around there and sit you down.
I don't feel like I have a purpose in life. Someone help me.
Counseling for rich people.
Yeah.
For affiliate marketers. Yeah, that's cool. And it's good to know that, like, for anyone listening, that never stops. Like, when I was making, my agency was at like $30K a month, and I had a partner and like a couple employees. I wasn't keeping all of that, but like I was at 10K and it was fairly passive. I was like, what is even life? Like, it doesn't feel real. Like I can just like fly. I went to Mexico and I remember just like walking around Mexico, like not thinking that I was in a real life because of how quickly the money had come, which felt like a lot of money at the time. And it is like for just living a pretty amazing life. And then you get to the next level where it's like, oh, it's like 20K and that's probably not going away. And then you get to the next level and every single time you have a little bit of an existential crisis.
Yeah. Because your goal, like in the beginning, everyone's goal is money. 99% of people, right? And even when they say like, no, I want to help, 100 people do this, like they want money.
Yeah.
They have a coach telling them that they need to like make that a mission statement and yada, 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 but they just want money, which is fine, right? Like it's like the hierarchy of needs, right? Like that's what you need right now most. And then you get that, it's like, well, now I need a purpose. Now I need to wake up, feel good, and have something that I'm like striving for. And so, yeah, there will always be there.
Got it. How do you know when you're ready to transition to the investing side? Like when you should stop focusing on just growing the income and focus on diversifying into
like reinvesting in your business?
Yeah. Stop reinvesting so much in the business and maybe take some out for other stuff.
I don't know. For me, I think it's just going to be natural, right? Like don't force the reinvestment in your business. So if you're still seeing opportunities, it's obvious you're in your own business, right? You know, oh, this is a good one. But I think sometimes we feel forced of like, I got to grow. I can't figure out how to grow. And so I'm going to start throwing darts at walls, and maybe I'm going to hire someone and see if this works, right? And like, if you're forcing it and you don't have this clear vision where you're like clearly seeing an opportunity, then I think it's smarter to start pulling to the investment side, and then maybe eventually you see another opportunity. But the biggest thing I would say is just don't force that, or you'll probably lose money.
Okay. Do you feel like your growth does it feel fast to you, or does it feel insanely slow?
Crazy fast. Especially because I live in my neighborhood, there's a lot of like dentists and doctors. And like when I hear their stories, I'm just like, oh, that is terrible. Like that was like 3 decades of pain. Yeah. And then I get guilty, like, oh yeah, mine was hard, but it was only like 4 or 5 years, Yeah. There's just a lot more potential for speed on the internet. Like growth can be much faster.
Yeah. And you don't start $800,000 in the hole.
You don't start in the hole. You don't start 8 years of school before you get, so many different things.
Shout out to the healthcare professionals out there that are willing to do that, because we are the lazy ones that are not.
Exactly. Lazy is probably the
We're investing in businesses though. So it's benevolent in some way.
No, but I do always say that if I had one skill, it's finding easy ways to make money. To find the easy route in general in life. It's just like the easiest way to get to a goal.
Yeah. It doesn't have to be so hard.
No. And that could be a skill. That could be a detriment. I don't know.
No, that's cool. And it's like what you're saying about your initial like reaction to sounds too good to be true, it probably is, was like, no, don't do that, because you're thinking of all the beginners out there who are gonna shy away from the $500 a month that they could be making on some random YouTube video that they make one day, because they just think like, oh, it's a waste of time. I should just go to school for 10 years.
And I still get scam comments on my Amazon influencer video, right? Which is like, look at the other comments. There's like 1,000 people all saying this worked, I'm making money. And then there's that guy that's like, scam. Yeah. And it's like, oh, why did you even watch the video? Like, there is no changing your mind. So why are you looking at this video just to comment scam? Like,
I posted one on my Facebook this year on my birthday. I like woke up to this message on my birthday, and it was like, you, sir, are a parasite con man to mankind. And my wife's like, I don't know how you handle that stuff. Like, I'm so like, she started an Instagram for her. She's a school teacher. And so she was sharing like best, books for kids and got like one hate comment and was like, I can't handle this. And I think you just realize like life's kind of what you make of it, and you get out what you put into it. And those people are probably just having a hard time elsewhere. And
yeah, no normal person does that. You know,
Yeah.
these people that read these like just insanely rude comments, you're like, no one normal in a normal state of mind would just go do that. And so like, there's a problem with you.
yeah,
And I've had the same way. Like usually 90% of the time I laugh them off. I try to leave sarcastic comments. Every once in a while, it's a bad day, having a bad day. I happen to read the comment on my phone while like I'm going through a bad day, and it's just like, you're the worst. And sometimes I manage to like, no, come on, dude. And then every once in a while I post it, and then like the rest of the day I just feel bad, you know. Versus if I just left something sarcastic, like you keep doing that, you know, whatever works for you, and
yeah,
I would feel much better if I hadn't.
yeah. Good, wise words. Leave us with one last piece of wisdom from your years online. If somebody's a beginner trying to get started, give us a mindset nugget that would help them.
Yeah, when it comes to mindset, I always feel like there's like two types of people. There's the people that get stuck in the learning loop, and the people that get stuck in the applying loop. You probably see me talk about this. The people that get stuck in the learning loop are the people that love the idea of all this stuff. I know a lot of people like this, like that are like personal family and friends, right? They love to talk to me about it. They love to watch videos about it, podcasts. This is a podcast, so I can say that, but a lot of it's like the podcast only crowd. They just listen to like all these podcasts while they're doing stuff, and they get stuck in that learning loop, and they never actually go apply. So they've got all this like generalized knowledge, but it never benefits them at all. It's like, oh, that someday, you know. And then there's like the applying loop, and this is me, where I'll go watch like a 3-minute YouTube video and be like, I'm smart, I can do that.
Yeah.
And then I just go like blow money in trying it, right? Hence me losing money a lot of times. Where it's just like, I want to learn through my own experience, and it takes me a long time, and I lose a lot in that process. And so if you can find like this nice balance between I'm learning, and as soon as I learn something new, I go try to apply it, and then I go back into the learning, right? And the application is kind of like the cementing of learning. It's taking that knowledge and making it wisdom, right? Like where you actually are internalizing it. So if you can get good at doing that, I feel like you will always succeed. But if you got to figure out what kind of person you are, and then break out of that specific mold and do both.
Smart. Thanks, man. This is awesome.
That's it. That's the only nugget I have. So.
Appreciate it. Hey guys, thank you so much for listening to this episode of UtahPreneur. Real quick, I've got just a few things before you click off. I promise it'll be fast. Number one, please follow UtahPreneur on whatever social media you prefer. We're there at either UtahPreneur or UtahPreneur Pod. So check it out. Links in the description. Number two, if you like this podcast, the most helpful thing you can do is share with a friend or leave a review, or both. Wink, wink. And number three, I'm interviewing the co-founder of Project Solar, which is a solar company completely revolutionizing how solar gets sold, delivered, and installed. And it's one of my favorite episodes so far. So definitely subscribe. So stay tuned, and we'll see you next week.